Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want to thank the folks that are here testifying today. I appreciate your testimony. In my real life, I'm a farmer, and been on the land between my parents, grandparents, and myself for 110 years plus. One of the things that I'm somewhat concerned about, but that's why I'm asking the question, is the potential to buy up farmland from a foreign country, potentially even a foreign adversary country. I'll direct at you, Mr. Fetto, but anybody can jump in if you want to add value. And that is this something that we're seeing, number one, or is this something that we're even tracking?
I'll answer the second part first. I'm not sure to what extent we're tracking it. I have seen as to whether it's a problem. I'm aware that there's increasing reporting about buying up land. Certainly with respect to CFIUS, the Congress provided the committee jurisdiction over real estate investments, land investments, close to military installations and otherwise. That provides us some overlap, some jurisdiction to look at those types of investments. But as to other agriculture-related investments, I'm not aware of the scope of the problem, but it is something that attention has been raised and I think is worth this committee and others thinking about.
Anybody else want to add to that? So I appreciate your answer, and I understand we can't look at everything, but the fact that we're not doing this and food supply is pretty critical to national security, and you can screw the food supply up pretty easily. The thought comes to my mind about putting nitrogen fertilizer in grain, which adds protein on a test, but also poisons the product, is a big deal. I would hope somebody, whose job would it be to look at that? I'm talking about people buying land up in the U.S. Do we have an agency that would?
I think it was appropriate to direct the question to Tom, because I think CFIUS does exist to look at national security implications of acquisitions. And the real estate scope did grow substantially. I think, Senator, what you're saying, and this is a very good thought, which is food security is really an infrastructure issue, which has grown to become a national security issue. So my view is the authority is there. Getting those definitions right is something that with Congress's help should be looked at.
How about from an agribusiness standpoint? Do we look at that at all? Do you know? I'll say to you, Mr. Fetto, again, how about foreign purchasing of agribusinesses? Is anybody looking at that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the core jurisdiction of the committee. If a foreign business buys a U.S. business, it's within the jurisdiction for consideration of national security risk.
So I probably need to visit with some of you offline, but I'll just give you an example. And I'm not saying that these guys aren't legit. I don't know that they are. I don't know that they're not. But there's a lot of land being purchased around me in north central Montana by Canadians. I don't know if it's Canadian money, though. It may be money from somewhere else. And if nobody's checking this out, and I don't know how hard it would be to check this out, I just don't know. It seems to me that we're opening ourselves up for a risk that we might regret later. That's all. So let me, the previous question, Senator Menendez was talking about intellectual property theft and research partners and universities is one of the places. I'll go to you, Ms. Dansman, because you're from Indiana University, a great university in this country. Is the university aware that there might be, look, we've had very open government, and we've wanted to work together and share information. I think it's foundational to who we are as a nation, by the way. But when people are trying to steal stuff, that puts a little different light on it. Is a place like Indiana University aware of what kind of threats are out there when we're talking particularly about research, but it could fall into a lot of other areas too?
I appreciate the question. academics really value the openness of science, and so that's an important part of what it means to be in the global academy.
Yes.
At the same time, it is the case that I know that the FBI goes around to universities and works with universities to discuss the risks that are that we currently need to be thinking about in our current environment, particularly around the development of technologies that do have important dual use. And I think that that's a very important thing for the FBI to be doing, and that program should be probably expanded.
Okay, so you think it's important they're doing, but the adequacy may need to be, adequacy isn't where it needs to be.
You might also look at, in the EU, there has been some recent movement on this issue, specifically around who is funding universities and university research. And so this is an issue that I imagine the US and EU Trade and Technology Council is also engaged with as well.
The more I learn, the more I'm scared. Thanks.